Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara Designs, and today I have this really cool waterfall folio to share with you that's in my new Valentines collection. So we're going to go through the papers. It comes with 8 sheets for the folio. For the base pieces here, I've printed the dark pink damask on the back, and for the waterfall folio, like this part, I've printed my dark red watercolor papers on the back. For the last 4 sheets, I've printed pieces from the collection on the back. Those are in the Valentines collection, and I think they turned out pretty great. Now, I'm going to skip fussy cutting everything. You guys don't have to watch that, but I did fussy cut out every piece of this because I'm going to show you how I plan to use this really cool folio and how to put it together. So how I've done everything here, I've fussy cut everything with the Recoil scissors that Tim Holtz has, and then we're going to score everything. So this, when folded and put together, is about 4 by 6.5, and I'm scoring on the lines. Now, the only thing you're going to have to keep in mind, first of all, this is my first folio that I've ever designed and made. So there are going to be a few things that are a little bit of an error. So with that front flap that has the heart paper on it, you kind of need to create a bit of a gusset in it because I have printed everything on 80-pound Neenah Solar White, and that gave it a bit of thickness once I've layered everything up. So you have 2 options. You can either print it on thinner paper, or you're going to have to create a bit of a gusset in the front tab. Now I'm going to score all of the pieces you can see here. So these are the pockets. There's 2 that will go on both sides, and I will show you how everything goes together. And the only thing that kind of had a bit of an error there is, like I said, that front flap needs a gusset because of how thick the paper is. If you use a thinner paper, this won't be as much of an issue for you. And then the slit that I have as well is going to have the same problem just because of the thickness of the paper. So once we're done scoring the pockets, I'm going to score the waterfall tabs. Now, I chose to do this. There are a few ways you could do this. I chose to do it where I'm going to score the first 3 layers at a 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to do the top pink one, and then the next 2 down, because of course there are 5 layers to this. I'm going to do those all at that 1/2 inch mark. And we're doing it so that they flip up. So you'll see what I mean. And of course, if you have any questions, please ask me. And then when I get to the 4th and 5th layer, I'm actually going to make the score just a little bit larger. So I'm going to score it at 7/8 instead of a 1/2. So that's just 1 mark up from the 1/2 mark on the scoreboard. And that's just going to give me a little bit of wiggle room when they're all layered together to actually have them flip nicely. Otherwise, all of the score lines are kind of bumping into each other and they don't fold up as nicely. So here you can see that extra little bit just gives it a little bit of something extra to lift the waterfall up. So this is a little bit of a slit that I've put in the center piece. It goes to where the flap folds over. But like I said, because this is fairly thick, and the problem is depending on how you decide to print it, like you might decide to print it on a thicker paper than what I've used. A thinner paper should work beautifully. Anything slightly thicker, it might not be able to use the slit. So just keep that in mind. I am going to notch mine out just because I like that and I want to be aware of where it is. And then we're going to add the pocket. So this pocket goes in the center of the folio and it will be underneath the waterfall flaps. So it's kind of like a hidden pocket. You see a little bit of it on the bottom. Just check your folds when you're adding everything. So I'm going to adhere the front flap to this now, and it will adhere to that centerpiece with the little slit on the side, the right-hand side. And I'm going to check my folds pretty much every step of the way, just to make sure that everything actually folds together nicely while I'm adhering things. Because of course, if you overlap them, it's really hard to get them to fold. So this is where I realize that my flap is going to have a bit of a gusset to actually fold over. So I'm going to score it again about 1/8 of an inch, I would say, to kind of start the gusset, but it'll honestly just depend on how thick your paper is to what you need to do. And I have to reinforce it a few times. Like at this point, the slit works for the front flap, but it won't after I've added everything. So it's just something to keep in mind. I add a ribbon closure just to negate that necessity, and I'm not worried about it, but you could add a Velcro dot, you could add a magnet. There's so many things you could do here if you wanted to change up how the flap closes. Now I'm going to adhere all my pockets. We're going to build the base, and then we're going to do some decoration. So I'm just making sure that my flaps still fold nicely every time I add something, and I have 2 pockets on the left, 2 pockets on the right, and then the waterfall goes over top of that center with that hidden pocket underneath. Now, when you get to the decorating stage of this, you can literally add anything. You can follow kind of what I've done if that's what you like to do, or you can kind of go rogue and do whatever you want. There's so many ideas here. You could add lace, ribbon, paste, splatter, inks, paints. Like, there is no limit to what you can do creatively. I'm kind of giving you a fun base, and honestly, I don't even think this necessarily reads Valentine's. My printer went a little bit rogue when I was printing this, and they're a little bit darker than I imagined them. So, and they tilt towards the purple a little bit, which I mean, I love, because you guys know I love purple. So just keep in mind that this ended up being a little bit more muted than my intention was with how mine has printed. Yours might print slightly different. It's going to completely depend on your printer settings. So just keep that in mind. If it doesn't look exactly like mine, that's why. And of course, on the back of those sheets, you can print anything. I've chosen to go in with some of my other pattern papers, because why wouldn't I? But you can add anything you want. If you want to add, more papers on it, leave it white and do that. If you want to, you could paint on them. Like the sky's the limit with what you could do here. So you can see that I've layered up my waterfall, and now the base of this is pretty much together. Now it's just decoration and where you want to go from here. So I'm just going to reinforce my folds, make sure that everything closes properly, fix my gusseted piece there to make sure that like at this point it barely reaches the slit. So once I add, a bunch of decorations inside, it's not going to use it anymore. And that's okay. It's a learning experience for me. So we're going to go in and start decorating. So I brought in a doily. I got this on Amazon. I think it's a 4-inch doily. No, it's a 3-inch doily. And I'm just going to adhere that across the back because I thought it added some really fun texture. And then I found a piece of ribbon, or like a roll of ribbon, that matched the colors of this beautifully. So I'm going to create a ribbon closure instead of using that little slit because it's not going to work once I've added a bunch of other things. So, I have to kind of play here and learn as I go because I don't really know what I'm doing with designing stuff like this. It's kind of, a wing and a prayer, I think is the saying, is that I'm just kind of, done is better than perfect. And that's kind of what my motto for this is. So I did learn a lot from creating this folio, and there are things that I will change in the next version of one that I design and create. But I had a lot of fun creating with this, and I'm really excited about this for my first one. It's one of those things where every step is learning. So it's really kind of interesting to see what comes out. And the fact that this is 100% mine is mind-boggling. So I'm just incredibly excited about it. So I've added my ribbon. I used a piece of double-sided tape to adhere it across the back, and then this is what's going to keep my folio closed. It does add a little bit of bulk, but I think it's really pretty and kind of a fun embellishment to add. And then I'm going to go in with this is my Crocodile, and I'm just punching holes in the tags. There are several tags in this kit, as well as a bunch of other things. And like I said, you could do a lot of stuff here. If you wanted to, you could take the slide, print 2 of them, put some acetate in the middle, and make like a little glitter shaker or something. Like, I'm kind of just giving you the base and some ideas, and then what you do with it after that, I'm so incredibly excited to see. So hopefully this is of interest to you and you're going to check it out. Totally understandable if it's not your cup of tea. Like I said, it is my first one. So if you guys have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. But the collection will be sold 3 ways. So you can get the full collection, which is the 6 pattern papers and the folio, or you can get just the papers or just the folio, just depending on what your preference is. And all of it, of course, is on my website. I will have the links and everything in the description, so you can go check that out. And then now I'm going to kind of bring in some texture. So this is drywall tape. People have, mixed feelings about this. I just stick it on my tag. I think it's a cool texture. I like to add it to random things, but of course, whatever works for you. Some people don't like what it's made out of, from what I understand. I just use it as a textural element. And then I'm going to adhere down this little rose that I drew and fussy cut out, which is a part of the ephemera pieces, and adhere it onto the tag there. And of course, like I said, you could add, strings and brads and it's so endless as to what you could add. I'm going to bring in some lace. I also found this really cool punch that I've had in my collection for a while, and I'm going to add kind of a doily-esque base to this tag and another one. You can see Az is hanging out with me here. He's got his tail in the screen. And then Aqua will show up here in a minute as well, actually. I think Mist was sitting beside me off to the left while I was creating this as well. She didn't walk into the screen, so you didn't actually get to see her, but she was sitting with me. But I brought in a brad, so this one actually moves, this little tag combo here, and kind of swings around, which I thought was fun. I'm going to bring in some paste in a minute. I brought in like a little paper clip, like a tiny paper clip. I used that as well. I like metal elements. I think they're really fun to add as decoration. So here I'm going to layer up 2 tags. And then I'm going to bring in just a tiny paper clip to hold it. And then I just added like a little slide with it. I didn't fussy cut out the center of the slide because I wasn't totally sure what I wanted to use it for. But if you were thinking about giving this as a gift to somebody, or like a pen pal, or, someone you like to send happy mail to, you could leave the tags unprinted on the back. Like, don't double side print them. I actually print one side and then I flip it over and put it back through my printer. I don't use double-sided printing or anything. But you could write like little notes on the back of them, or, maybe if you have a pen pal, you're doing like a questions and answer, you could write your answers on one of them, that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, or you add it to your junk journal and you don't need a ribbon. You just add it into your junk journal and it kind of is like a flip open element in your journal. It would add a bit of bulk. Although again, like if you printed it on a 20-pound paper, if you were going to add it into a journal, that would be a really fun way to add like a folio inside of the journal without adding a whole bunch of bulk. Generally, for me personally, I like to make folios and then send them to my pen pals. That's normally what I kind of do with them because I just think they're really fun. But there's so many ways you could use this. I tend to use them as standalone elements just because that works better for me, but there is no right or wrong in creating, so you can absolutely, do whatever works for you. And then I am going to bring in this little piece of drywall tape again. I just love the texture, and I'm just adding it behind the typewriter. I love this typewriter. Like I said again, I drew all the elements, so any of the little hand-drawn elements here, like any of the art is hand-drawn by me. The papers are all designed by me. I mean, the dots are drawn by me too, but just keep that in mind. So everything, like, this is a work of love because it takes me a long time to draw things. So I had a lot of fun putting this kind of together. Here's Aqua. She's coming in to check it out, make sure she approves. She seemed to approve because she left right away. So I guess she enjoyed it. And then I'm going to bring in, this is Sparkle Texture Paste. And I have been using I guess it's an elastic trick that Tim Holtz kind of came up with. You can see it up on the right-hand top screen there, and I'll show you here. I'm going to put it back on the bottle when I'm done, or jar. And I've been using that to keep my pastes wet, I guess is the best way. I'm keeping them from drying out. I've been using the band, and I find it works really well. So I found those on Amazon. I'll try to remember to link them, so if you're at all interested for your jars of paste. But I have had that work a lot better than the cling wrap. So that's kind of what I've been doing. You could probably do a mixture of both, and that would work too. So far, I've just been using the bands, and I've found that works really well. So here you just see, I just stick it over top of the gap where the air can get in, and that kind of helps the paste stay wet longer. So I haven't had any issues with it drying out. And now we're just going to put all the elements in the folio. All of my paste pieces are completely dry. I'm kind of showing you here in the light. It's difficult to see. In person, you can see them. Like if you wanted to bring in some distress crayon and go over top of that, that would look really cool. I didn't, because I mean, there's so many ways you could do decorations with this that I was kind of just having a fun play with everything. So I kind of just worked with stuff specifically in the kit and then a couple of pattern papers that I also created. But like I said, you could make this a multi-day project and have just a blast. So I did kind of go through and just put everything in the side pockets, and then we will add some elements, you know, into that hidden pocket on the inside as well. I didn't really adhere anything else to the folio itself. I kind of focused more on the pockets and whatnot, and the tags, but you absolutely could, like, you could print multiple of the little elements and, you know, adhere them. See, I'm showing you, like, you could easily take that little envelope and adhere it onto a pocket somewhere or add stuff on the waterfall. Like, there is just so many things you could do here. Now, here's where you're going to see that there is no way that that's going to stay closed. Like, it doesn't even make it to that little slit now. So the ribbon closure is 100% necessary for me, so I did make sure to add that. But like I said, you could add a magnet, you could add a Velcro dot. There's so many ways you could seal this if you don't like the ribbon idea. I just felt like this ribbon went beautifully with this damask pattern paper that I created, so I thought it was kind of a fun way to just add some interesting texture. But that is the folio I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. It ends up measuring, when closed, 4 by 6.5. So creating an envelope for it would actually be pretty easy. At least, well, I make all my own envelopes except for A2, so I find envelopes pretty straightforward, but it is an easy envelope to make because it's not terribly large. And then of course you can flip all the waterfalls and you can check out all the fun stuff in it. I had a blast with this, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I hope you'll check out my Valentine's collection. I am really proud of how it came together, and it was a lot of work, so I'm just so stoked to see it together now. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.